Welcome back, dear students. In the last class, we were discussing about the introduction of English education or the colonial education in different parts of the world and how it affected the world system. Today, we're going to discuss on the very interesting topic English education in India. How the British they introduced English education in India and what was the motive behind it. So when like from the beginning, the English East India Company they did not care much for the education of Indian people for the first 60 years of their reign, because that period they were just concentrating on the export and import. That means they were just concentrating on the trade activities. Well before the arrival of British, India had its own traditional system of education like the Gurukulas and the Madrasa system. The company they then realized that they wanted some educated Indians who could assist them in the administration of the India or the administration of the land. So for this purpose, they started to promote the education or the colonial education in India. So Warren Hastings, he established the Calcutta Madrasa in 1781 for the teaching of Muslim law, and after 10 years in 1791, the Sanskrit College or the Banaras Sanskrit College that started by Janardhan Dungan for the study of Hindu philosophy and laws. So what is special with these two institutions is these two are religion in nature. So religious teachings are promoted by these two institutions. So the missionaries, at the same time, the Christian missionaries, they supported the activities of English East India Company, and they try to spread the Western education in India. So these two institutions, the first two institutions are religion in nature. So the Indian reformers they demanded the Western education, and that should be secular in nature. So, as a result of the pressure from the Indian reformers, the Charter Act of 1813, introduced by the English Company, it was the first step towards the modern education or the secular education or the Western education in India. So, the Act sanctioned the sum of 1 lakh rupees towards the education of Indians in British ruled India. But the problem was there was a split in the government over what kind of education was to be offered to the Indians. So there was there was a split, and two groups that emerged in India. First is the Orientalists. They prefer Indians to be given traditional Indian education in Indian languages. The first group is called as the Orientalists. They demanded the traditional Indian education. And the second one is the Occidentals. These Occidentals, however, they wanted Indians to be educated in the Western style of education and be taught Western subjects. So this controversy or this issue between the Orientals and Occidentals is known as Oriental-Occidental controversy in Indian history. And another problem was the Orientalists, they wanted to use of Indian languages or the vernacular languages, and the Occidentals they preferred English should be the language of education. So due to this issue, the sum of money or the 1 lakh rupees that allotted was not given until 1823. So government appointed Thomas Macaulay as a chairman of the General Committee of Public Instruction to solve this issue or to solve the Oriental-Occidental controversy. So Macaulay he studied about this issue, and he submitted the report to the government, and his report is known as the famous Macaulay Minute of 1835. This is one of the turning point of the education in India. So according to him, or as a result of his report, the English education should be imparted in place of traditional Indian learning. So Macaulay demanded English should be the medium of instruction and Western knowledge should be taught in these institutions. So he believed in an education of few upper and middle class students. So in the course of time, education would trickle down to the masses. So this was called as the infiltration theory or downward filtration theory. So the downward filtration theory means education should be given to the upper class society or the very minority upper class society. So they will later teach the minority or the downward class. So this is called as the downward filtration theory or the infiltration theory. So the aim behind Macaulay Minutes was to create a class of Indians who were Indians in color and blood, but English in taste and affiliation and in intellect. So this was the basic aim behind the introduction of colonial English secular Western education in India. So as a result of this policy or this minute, in 1835, the Elphinstone College of Bombay and the Calcutta Medical College were established. So that this was the the background of English education of the introduction of English education in India. And next we have the Wood's Dispatch. Wood's Dispatch of 1854. So Charles Wood, who was the president of Board of Control of the company in 1854, and when he sent the dispatch or the report to the then Governor General of India, Lord Dalhousie. So this Wood's Dispatch is called as the Magna Carta of English education in India. This is the landmark event in the history of colonial education in India. So the major recommendation of Wood's report or the Wood's Dispatch were: first is to regularize the education system from the primary to the university levels. So there should be a structure for the education system from the primary levels to the university levels. And the second one, Indians were to be educated in English and their native languages. So according to the Wood's Dispatch, both English and the vernacular language should be taught in these schools. Third one, education system was to be set up in every provinces. Next, every district should have at least one government school. Affiliated private school could be granted aids, means to promote the private education system, there should be granted aids to these private schools. Next, education of women should be emphasized. Women education should be promoted. Next, as a result of this Wood's Dispatch, I already mentioned this was the turning point in the history of education system in India, and as a result of this report, the first three universities of India, University of Madras in Chennai, University of Calcutta, and University of Bombay, were set up in 1855. These three are the first three universities in India. This came up as a result of this Wood's Dispatch. So this dispatch asked the government to take up the responsibility of education of the people. So government has a responsibility for to the promotion of education in India. So the next is the Hunter Commission or the Indian Education Commission of 1882. So this Hunter Commission or the Indian Education Commission, this mission was presided by Sir William Hunter. So this report is called as the Hunter Commission. So the report was submitted in 1882. The Hunter Commission was constituted on 3rd April 1882. So what are the major recommendations of this commission? The first is preferences was given to literate candidates for government jobs in the lower levels. So before I just mentioned, the government or the English East India Company, they promoted the English education in India to get the administrative clerks for their easy administration here in India. So the preferences was given to educated Indians for the government jobs only in the lower levels. Second, expansion of primary schools in backward districts. Then, district and municipal boards were entrusted with the management of primary education under the Local Self-Government Act. So, for the promotion of the primary education, there should be municipal and district boards under the Local Self-Government Act. Next, the funds were separated for rural and urban areas. Next, secondary school were to be established by private parties with fund provided by the government. So there should be a promotion of private institutions, but that should be aided by the government fund. Model schools fully run by the government were to be opened in each district to guide such private schools. So in order to guide the private schools, there should be the model school. There should be a model school in each and every district. Next, secondary school curriculum was also revised with academic and vocational courses diversified into different branches. So there should be a promotion of vocational courses and academic courses. Okay. Next, missionary schools were discouraged, and Indian participation in the private school system was solicited. So during this phase, the missionary schools were established. Christian missionaries, they established several institutions in different parts of India. So the missionary schools were discouraged by the Hunter Commission. Special care was supposed to be taken in advancing the education of girls and women. So women education should be promoted. So as a result of this report, University of Punjab and University of Allahabad established in 1882 and 1887 respectively. So the Hunter Commission and the Woods Dispatch and the Macaulay Minutes, these three are the landmark events in the development of education or the development of Western and secular education in India. So later we have many commissions and many reports submitted for the development and progress of English education in India. Major are the commission under the presidency of Sir Thomas Raleigh in 1902. This commission was appointed to inquire into the condition and prospects of universities in British India. So this commission is known as the Raleigh Commission or the Raleigh Report. And next important is the Calcutta University Commission, was appointed by the Government of India in 1917 to inquire into the condition of prospects of Calcutta University under the chairmanship of Dr. Michael Sattler. So this report is called as Sattler Commission or Sattler Report. And another important is Resolution on Education Policy of 1913. So these three are the another important reports or the commissions that submitted for the development of education and to inquire about the present condition of Indian education. So these are the major landmark events in the development of English education in India. Thank you.